Eve.
Sales?
Yeah.
I think it was 1470 something.
Nice. Now, if we could do that on a regular basis.
And we're live.
Oh, here we go.
How's it going, guys?
I mean,
Welcome to another Daily Torch.
I'm just going to talk over him.
Yeah,
we
he's
can.
gonna
It's what we
try.
did when we
It's
first
okay.
opened.
We'll get there.
Yeah. It's what we did when we first opened.
Okay.
We'll get back there.
This one's Lane.
Oh, now
That's
I've
Will,
got
of course.
now I've got Kevin on screen here.
It's me. There we go. Look at that.
Sweet.
We're live.
Hello.
All right. Oh,
Will, how have you been? he has volume up, so he just wants to, listen to himself talking.
So, I'm a little torched.
A little torched? Only a little bit.
Torched. For some reason, I just don't have the energy. I haven't been recovering from shifts of work, and I am reminded why I have not been working.
How often? How many shifts are you working? I thought you were only going to do a couple.
Originally I was only going to be doing one and on call.
Yeah.
And I've been pulling more shifts through the last 2 weeks, than I bit off more than I can chew is probably the best way to say it.
so you're going to step back a little bit?
Oh, absolutely. I have from the 9th to the 19th off, and I've notified them that I'm going to go back to 1 day a week and on call here and there as it pops.
Okay.
And it's not like I'm on call for regular shifts, but I could be. I mean, if somebody needs to go on vacation or do family stuff and go away and get that, I can cover for them.
I feel like you should do, if you're going to cover people, make sure it's to give yourself, a couple of days, so don't cover all of them.
No, I'm 100% with you, Kevin. And that's probably exactly what I'm going to be doing. I told them today that I'd bitten off more than I can chew, and I told them when I come back from my 10-day reprieve that I would be going to 1 day a week. Because he goes, "Can I get you 1 day a week?" And I go, "What day?" And he goes, "Saturday." And I go, "Yes." And then I'll pick up a shift here or there on the fly as somebody needs. Somebody gets sick or has a family issue, I will pop in and cover. Yeah. Enough about me. Lane, what do you got going on over there?
Hold on. He's going to rant on angry stuff.
No. All right. So we're going to preface this a little bit. So I had a long, call it 10 days, right?
Yeah.
It's been a long couple of months for me, but it got really long there at the end.
Notice that.
So bunches of doubles, and by doubles, legitimate doubles, plus the first job is working pretty hard. It's a physical thing. It doesn't sound like it, but when you're teaching snowboarding, there's a lot of walking up and down and helping people get started to do some stuff. So you're just moving a bunch, and you're standing on the snow, right? It's a full day. And then coming in here, which I love being in here, but there's a certain point where you're just checked out.
Yeah.
So I get through all of it. I think I got through all of it with a pretty solid demeanor. You were there for the end of it.
Yeah.
I think I carried it all the way through New Year's Eve.
You did carry, and I could see where it was waning on you on Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah. But I think I still pulled it off all right.
I agree.
Anyway, end of the year, bunch of stuff. Not a huge fan of holidays. They're kind of hard for me, just for whatever reason, right? So my little Zones app, which I track all my workouts thing, came on. And I had a pretty good year. So it was 304 hours of workouts, 359 individual workouts. It was pretty big. But I'm still carrying a bunch of extra weight, and I was feeling a little sorry for myself. So I put up something still fat, basically, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, but still fat for you is pretty fit. You carry a lot of weight and muscle.
Yeah, but this isn't the story that matters.
Oh, okay.
So one of the girls I know was you need to quit drinking and smoking. And I was a little annoyed because I actually don't drink that much.
Right.
I don't think I can count on the number of times she's seen me, on two hands, the number of times she's seen me drink more than one. And smoking, whether I like it or not, like I'm smoking more than I want because I'm working in here more than I want, but it's not like it's intricately linked to me paying my bills, right? Like it's a significant part of my job. Anyway, said something like that. I was a little bit smartassy. I was like, or did you just want to be pompous? little snipey.
Yeah.
And she said something. She was like, first her excuse, whatever, and then it's none of my business. And then she said another one like, it was just a joke. And I think my response was, it wasn't a very good one. What comes next is where I got blocked. Because she goes, don't cry.
Ooh.
And my response was, so here's the problem, is this is sort of a de facto attack on like a man's personal image, right? Don't cry is an implied de facto attack on how men see themselves, right?
Yeah, because you're raised not to cry, to
Yeah.
be the manly man.
So I responded to Con. She said, don't cry. I responded, don't be ugly.
She was not happy about that. I'm
Yeah,
guessing.
that didn't go over well. I was blocked pretty quick.
I mean, it went over pretty well if you got blocked.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was effective.
I don't understand why people think that it's okay to attack someone, but not okay to be attacked.
Not
Right,
okay to have
right.
it come back.
Like
yeah.
if you started the fight, be able to throw the punch.
Be able to take a little bit.
Yeah. Anyway, so just getting mouthy. Definitely sent off a little email. I was feeling pretty frustrated today. Definitely sent off a little email reminding Nick that I think he's trash.
Oh.
For sure.
Was that, did he contact you?
Nope,
Nick?
don't care.
Oh.
He's going to get like an annual reminder that he's a trash human being until I get bored.
That Nick. The one that did that?
Yep, that Nick.
That Nick. Got it.
Nick, I mean, this is a whole other story, right? Like, so Nick, I consider Nick my best friend for the better part of 20 years.
Yeah. You did.
But Nick is, what I was telling Kevin earlier, a sideline sitter. He's a bench warmer.
Kind of like me.
No, a little bit different than you because he acts like he's in the game, but he's only in the game when it matters for him, right? Sideline sitter. If it's not convenient, he's not in the game, which is what I came to realize. And then he also like he's never really paying attention. Like there are things that he should have known about me, having known me for 20 years, about my personality and such, that he would ask questions about. And I would say, Nick, that's a stupid question. He'd be like, there's no such thing as stupid questions. I'm like, there absolutely aren't a bunch. There are really stupid questions in his life. The ones that hurt people are definitely fucking stupid.
Yeah.
And you excel at asking them all the time. Right? It's the people who feign sympathy so they don't have to get involved.
See, I always say, you're right, there is no stupid questions, just stupid people, and then I walk away.
Nope, stupid questions. There are stupid questions.
From
Right.
intelligent people.
The people, no, Nick's not unintelligent,
Yeah.
but the people that are fucking sitting on the sideline like the fat kid who refuse to engage because it's just too hard, right? This is what we're talking about. Anyway, so this comes to a head like a year and a half ago now.
Yeah.
So I've spent most of my birthdays alone, right? Like me and loneliness have sort of a thing going on. And on my actual birthday, he texts me something stupid, oh, I don't have time to talk today, whatever. Happy birthday, catch up later in the week.
Oh, holy fuck.
So this was a Sunday, I believe.
You could have just stopped at a happy birthday.
Yeah. This was a Sunday, I think. So fast forward to Thursday. Now, mind you, I say this. Last year's birthday was amazing. You guys fucking did a bunch of cool shit. It was rad. It made up for the year before, which was a very, very shitty birthday.
Yeah,
Yes.
I remember.
So Thursday, literally sitting alone on my computer, I finally decided to buy myself a piece of shitty birthday cake. Drinking some bourbon, having my shitty birthday cake, and the text that I get from him was, "How's it going, stud? How was your birthday?" And I took that opportunity to just smoke the shit out of him. And then he comes back a couple weeks later and he says some more stupid shit. And I took that opportunity just straight to tell him to fuck off. In fact, what I said was, "You're a useless twat." And he was like, "I'm done." And I was like, "Clearly, you've been done for a while. You've just been acting like you're still in the game." And these are the people that annoy the fuck out of me. And this girl today is kind of that person too, right? Like she's one of those people, she's super judgmental and she's going to like hold her position above people and be a critic, but never involved. Like never like engaging willfully. Like you have to beg them to be a part of it. And then they're only going to do so cautiously on their terms and never so engaged that they can't also critique what you're doing. And these people are just trash.
Like that that one comment about that what's his name did about you eating.
Oh, that's a little bit different. I just was done with that. I was just done with that joke.
Okay.
Like, I don't think he's a trash human being. I think he crosses the line often, mostly because he's an alcoholic.
Fair.
But that's different. I don't think he's a bad human being. I think he's a flawed human being. But I think he's got at least some redeeming character points. And he would come to your aid.
Yeah, he would.
Like, I don't know what condition he's going to show up to your aid, but he would show up.
He's gonna walk there. It's gonna take him about 2 hours.
Yeah. It's the people that excel at creating distance, right? But they act like they're in the game. Like, get off the fucking sideline, go do some shit, get your hands dirty, see what it's like, and then we can fucking talk.
Yeah, go kick the can.
So
Like, listen, I've failed more times than I can count. I've done some stupid shit in my life, but at least I'm in the fucking game.
That's because you haven't given up yet.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
that's a prudent point. So
what's that?
So the interaction with the girl happened today.
Yes, that was today.
Ah,
I was blocked today.
I'm pretty sure it was while I was sitting in here.
No, it was before that.
Okay, I thought it was while we were in here because I saw you engaging, and I'm like, and then it just stopped. I'm like, come on.
I was just so fantastically annoyed. I've been annoyed for a couple days. I put on a really good show at work because that's what I've been taught to do. But I was just so fucking annoyed. And there's a bunch of other stuff going on. I was just
Of course.
pissy. And whoever decided to cross that particular line today was there was going to be an escalation.
Well, I mean, there was good news today, though. You got to try Pinky's, and he was amazing.
Oh my God, this bourbon
Go
sitting
Brain.
on here. Yeah. Who like Brain, the picker at Pinky's in Amarillo, Texas. You know, somehow this might get back to it, but that bourbon, that Old Forester, is stellar. I mean, that's such a good pick.
It is.
And I've got 5 Old Forester picks at this point. That's so good.
you already bought them?
Yeah.
Yeah, from different places. Yeah, I've got a bunch.
Nice.
Because I like Old Forester picks. And they're relatively inexpensive for what they are.
Most of the time.
When you say pick,
It's a barrel pick, so they go in, they taste the barrel, and they pick their choice.
okay.
So a single barrel of whiskey is approximately 100, we'll call it 180 bottles, right?
Okay.
So most of the time what they're doing is blending a bunch of barrels together to create the flavor profile they want. Most people will call that small batch, although there's no actual definition for small batch. They just like to slap it on their bottle because it makes sense. But what you can do as a purveyor, right? You own a liquor store, you own a restaurant, you own a casino, whatever. You can be like, I want to buy a whole barrel. I want to buy 180 to 220 bottles, all from the barrel of my choosing. And they'll send you samples, or you can fly out and you go and you taste a bunch. You're like, that's my barrel. So the picker matters, right? So this is why we're doing barrel wars, because it's not about the whiskey, it's about the people picking the whiskey.
And
So we're measuring, one Old Forester pick against another Old Forester pick,
And-
one 1792 pick against another 1792 pick, and we're deciding who picks the best whiskey.
Yeah, we're comparing their palates, essentially.
Yes.
So when you're both drinking, what, the 1792?
Yeah.
That was last week's
Right. Well, okay. But
This week was
Old Forester.
Old Forester.
There's actually
Right.
2 Old Forester. We did 2 Old Forester barrel wars.
So one barrel pick of Old Forester comes from a different location than the other.
It can.
Well, three of the bottles came from Warehouse I.
Pinky's
One-
came from Warehouse K.
Yeah.
So they're coming from different rick houses and different locations in the rick houses from the distillery. As far as the purveyors, they're all over the place. So I was fortunate enough to get that because my dad spotted it on his way to Oklahoma when he stopped in Amarillo. It was like, yeah, I'll take that.
and then we know that this came out yesterday.
2 days. I tasted the first bottle on the 30th when he was up here.
Yeah. So yeah.
That one is also outstanding. I mean, these two are neck and neck.
So they're not the same. They're not the same.
No, they're different.
No, they're totally different.
And is it identified on the bottle?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it
so
is.
it's who picked is on the bottle. So this one actually says Pinkies on it.
And this
Okay.
one says Minda Meat and Deli.
And it should
Got
say picked by Brain. And that one's Kevin's pick from Minute Meat and Deli. Not this Kevin, the
Yeah.
owner of Minute Meat and Deli's pick.
So he went to the distiller. And,
Yeah, he went to the distillery in Kentucky.
Oh, he did.
Yes.
Wow.
And they gave him some samples, and he was like, "That's my barrel."
Got it. Oh, that's impressive.
Yeah. Now a lot of them now they just send out like little sample bottles, and they're
Yeah.
like, "Pick one," but you can go there and do it in person.
That would be fun.
Wouldn't that be a blast?
If I drank.
My mom and dad
Yeah,
want
that
to
would
go
be.
out to,
But that would be.
yeah, my mom and dad are trying to get me to take a day off so we can go out to Frey Ranch
Yeah.
and get a tour of that and try out some of theirs.
I think they're only open on Saturdays.
What, Saturdays? Okay,
For
so I'll have
tour?
to remember
But
that.
if you go out there, you got to let me know because there's a bottle they're only selling at the distillery that I want. He did a smoked single malt. It's not. He hasn't distributed it yet, and I haven't seen him at the lounge
right
to be like, "Hey, I want one of these bottles."
up there in Fumari.
Yeah.
Okay, so
In fact, I haven't seen him in a while. I don't know how often he smokes in there anymore.
so I'll have to pick a bottle for me and you.
Yeah.
So when you say they're only open on Saturdays, they're only open on Saturday for tours?
To the
Yeah,
public,
they're I mean, Frey Ranch is a working ranch and a working distillery, both.
Okay.
They're growing all of their grains.
Oh, wow.
But the distillery for tours is only open, I believe, on Saturdays.
Gotcha.
Anyway, so that's most of my. I've just been frustrated with people. Like,
Well, you're pretty spent.
I had the Jackass. I tried to do the load in for the concert thing. They didn't really tell me what it was. They didn't tell me it was actually like floating motors and doing lighting or anything. And I asked about clothing, and they're like, "Oh yeah, just show up and whatever." What they should have said was, "Show up, bring gloves, show up in stuff you don't care about." So I get a bunch of oil on a pants, managed to get that off, and I was like, "Hey guys, this isn't very cool." And then I gave him a lot of shit, right? So then he's like, "Oh, just take a picture of your driver's license and text me that and your social security number." I was like, "No, like send me this. You're using ADP. Send me the secured form, and I'll fill it out, and you can pay me." And he's like, "No, just do this." I'm like, "We're not doing that. I don't trust you."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, well, I'm just going to screenshot this and tell ADP that we tried to pay you." I'm like, "Or what you could do is send me the secure form so that I can do it properly and get paid. Or I can just go tell them that you're taking people's information in non-secure forms because I'm sure they're going to love that. That's totally SOPs for a national pay company." And he was like, "Well," blah, 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 blah. And I was like, "Listen, buddy, I can do this all day. We can talk about the unreported injuries that I heard while I was there. We can talk about you not having available PPE like helmets, knowing that at the last concert something fell literally from the rigger's gear on the ceiling and almost knocked somebody out.
Is that
You want to
right?
keep going? We can talk. Like, I can do this all fucking day long, man. Like, I was there for 4 hours, and I can find, I don't know, a dozen statutory violations for workplace." He's like, "Well," I'm like, "You're a lazy piece of shit is what you are. You're arrogant and lazy, and this is a fly-by-night operation where you're milking as much as you can."
Was that guy named Dennis?
No, his name was Walt.
So, did you get paid at least?
No, he never sent me the form. No, because he's one of those people, dude. He's a fucking sideline sitter.
Okay.
He's making as much as he can while also maintaining as much distance as he can. He's afraid to get involved. He's afraid to run a real fucking business because he's trash. Yes.
I don't.
What
think
was the
that's
name of the
fair,
co-
but-
If
I mean, it's fair what you said, but like on his side, that's just shitty. Entirely.
Yeah.
Is there a business name that we would care saying on the podcast?
No, I mean, it all happens. So, like, the defamation, like, the number one rule of defamation is that the truth cannot defame. And it's all true.
Okay.
But I don't think anyone would even recognize the business. Like, it's just a shitty fucking LLC that he created to steal money from people. Yeah. While paying for as little regulation as he can.
Huh.
Yeah, I know what you're getting at.
I just get so tired of these people.
Yeah, I mean,
Like, I don't like corporations, right? Because they're slow and they're cumbersome and they do a lot of things they don't need to do. But they're better than this.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. There's always that guy or that business that thinks he's a business and he runs it in a way that he's not really a business. It's more of a shell.
It's a
of,
cash grab.
Yeah, is that what it is?
It's a cash grab.
Okay.
So like the first one.
Yeah, like the first one here.
I thought that's what I thought.
Well, I mean, you
I would
wouldn't
put.
be wrong.
I would in the end. I would put him in that category too.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
He got to the point where he just sat on the side and didn't want to do anything anymore.
I wonder, was he doing his own books?
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know how well that went either.
Well, yeah, I mean, it probably went better in the beginning, but towards the end, I'm sure it fell apart.
Probably.
Yeah.
The
Anyway.
only things we did get to keep is this one and that one. The signs.
Oh yeah. The Rocky sign.
The signed one and that one.
Well, plus this one,
Oh, yeah, that cigar.
plus the cigar, and the little cigars. I don't think those are signed though.
No.
I don't think
Is
they
that?
are
I don't think that big one is either.
It is.
Is it?
Yeah.
Silver?
Yeah.
Okay.
I definitely can't see it from here.
Oh yeah, yeah. Anyway,
My angle's a little
that's
off.
just been where I've just been fucking frustrated. I'm just pissy.
Well, it's funny. The holidays always get a little taxing.
For
You know,
everyone.
For
yeah.
everyone. I mean, it's just the way it is. If you're not dealing with family, you're dealing with work. And I rarely not work those days. The holidays, I don't mind working the holidays. I just realized that once I've worked the holidays, I need a break.
Yeah, that's entirely accurate.
And I don't think I'm alone in that realm or in that conversation.
No, I don't think you are either.
Yeah.
I, for once, actually didn't feel like total
Whose camera did we lose?
mine.
Why are you gone?
I don't know.
Is the battery dead?
I have no idea. Is my camera on?
Nope.
Hold on.
But no, like for one,
Is it on? Go ahead.
I had a decent Christmas.
Yeah, how was your Christmas,
I
Kev?
didn't feel stressed out about it because
Well, that's good.
the oldest told the youngest that there's no Santa Claus,
Oh, yeah, that's right.
which is fine. He's 10 years old. So, and then the oldest tricked his mom into telling him that there was no Santa Claus, and she tried to recover, and I decided there was no recovery, so I fixed it myself and just told him the truth. I'm like, there is no Santa Claus. You're looking at him right now.
So,
I'm the one with the money that pays for your gifts and all this. And
How-
like when you're asking for all this stuff, I make the best that I can come true.
right.
And like they all want electronics and all, like all kids, they
Yeah.
want a phone, they want games, they want this, they want that. And I'm like, I want you to play outside. I don't want you to be like your friends, getting in trouble on the phone, looking up things you're not supposed to, even though you've already gotten in trouble on your Chromebook for school. And I'm just like, now I have your principal's phone
Nope.
number on speed dial. And
More than
he
I
calls me.
wanted to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know him well enough now that I can have a conversation with him and we banter back and forth.
Right.
Shouldn't happen,
Should.
but it has.
Yeah. It's
But yeah, I didn't
the
feel.
apple did not fall far from the tree.
I didn't have electronics like this growing up, so I didn't get in trouble that way. I got in trouble for magazines for sure,
Oh,
but not
okay.
at school.
And they were comic books, right? Graphic novels.
Oh yeah, they were graphic novels for sure. So many graphic novels. But you knew how to hide those. Mm-hmm. Like if you lived in an area like this, there was always a spot somewhere out in the woods where somebody hid a stash of graphic novels.
So, how disappointed did the little one get? Did he get? I mean, was he like
I don't think he cared.
he didn't care?
No, not at that point.
Okay.
And really, like, it took a lot of stress off of me trying to make Santa seem real.
Right.
Which is, for the last 10 years, I've noticed a mass amount of stress of trying to make him think that Santa's real. Santa isn't able to make electronics. That's why he couldn't give you this or that. and like trying to explain it different ways.
I wonder when or how I realized. I don't even remember how I realized that Santa wasn't real.
It was probably the same way as everybody finds out. Kids at school tell you.
Yeah, but for
Well,
me,
you never attended. Let me rephrase that.
well, no, that was my high school years, and I had figured out Santa was not Santa way back when. I think it came from the neighborhood kids.
Probably. It's
Yeah.
usually other kids that tell them.
Because I didn't go to school with all the other kids. They shipped me out to parochial school, and so, so that's how I found out. Was
What
the-
is
the neighbor-
parochial school?
Parochial school is like private school. Catholic is the parochial school system. So I went to the Catholic schools, and they were called parochial.
Yeah, I went to catechism on Sundays and then got kicked out.
Right.
'Cause I'm
So
an ass.
catechism was instilled in school. They had, it wasn't called catechism, but they did cover traditional Catholic situations
Right.
or actions. So, but I mean, it was a really good education, I have to admit.
Well, yeah, because they're teaching you all the basic stuff you need to know
Well,
with some religion.
yeah, but more importantly is that they're very how do I
It's essentially a private school, though.
oh, it is. No,
So,
it
I mean,
is. It is.
The ones that are working there are working to make sure that they're giving you a proper education that your parents are paying for.
Right. So they were very diligent in making sure we had information in the curriculum that was taught very well or very, I don't want to say heavy-handed, but there was definitely a focus there on making sure that kids picked up the information that was necessary to go on to, junior college or actually high school. And then had I been in a parochial private school,
High school.
high school, it would have been a lot of the same.
Okay. I feel so technology being one of the biggest parts is like depending on how it's used, it's really great to be used in schools because they're getting other kids that usually aren't engaged in school because they're thinking about other things or goofing off. They're doing it through like games in school now on Chromebooks.
Yeah.
And when I was in school, we didn't have computers until like I got to middle school, and I was like 8th grade, and you had to go into a computer lab. And then high school, phones were out. You had the only computers you could use were in the library, or you had a laptop that your parents bought you that ran like a dinosaur.
So I did not get technology or computer until I was out of college.
Yeah, until you're already a man.
Say again?
So until you're already a man. I was born with it starting. You were born
Predating.
before that.
Yes.
So computers and all that didn't come into play for you until you were already a man, like full grown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you can call early 20s.
I mean, I still don't call you
full-grown.
full grown, but
I was going to say that full grown was not really full grown.
well, yeah. But I mean, you were
from this side of the street.
you were
know?
considered an adult by then. But like me growing up as a kid, I think 8th grade, my mom got a PC and it was dial-up AOL, and I still remember that.
Dial
and the
up
dialing up.
AOL. I remember that as well, and it was like, ooh. I remember when that was like, ooh.
Oh yeah, that was top of the line back
Yeah,
then.
You got the best stuff.
Took you 30 whole minutes to download a kilobyte of data.
So, thinking about connection, right? Speeds.
Mm-hmm.
What is the most speed that you can get now on
It depends. So
on a retail level?
a retail level, like you as a consumer, or retail as a shop owner.
Consumer.
Consumer, you can get. I think it's 200 megabits up and down.
Per second?
Wait 30 seconds in case you'll have the answer.
He will. I know he will. But I'm gonna just vomit out a couple of things and see what happens. But I mean, even as a consumer, you can still get like business internet as a consumer, just in your own house.
Sure.
You pay a little bit more,
Yeah.
and like with regular internet, you're actually fighting with other people with how much data is coming through still.
Bandwidth.
Yeah, bandwidth.
So if I was a business owner, I could get, so the more you pay is the higher of download or upload speed.
They call it gigabits now, is what you can upload, download.
Can you get that high?
You can now.
Okay.
For gigabits.
But that's in a commercial situation rather than a consumer.
Usually it's commercial. You should be able to get it as a consumer, but you're paying a lot of extra, not to mention you probably have to have fiber running to get that.
Okay.
Because over not RG59, they run it through RG60 now, your internet, and then you push it out through Cat5 and all that through a Wi-Fi connection.
Right. And I mean, when I was working, they would have data rooms with, towers or,
Like servers.
Yeah, of servers. And I would suspect that there was something internal there that pushed the speed because it had 50 or 70 different terminals that they were trying to get information to and from. So I'm thinking, is it a correct thought when they had a commercial feed, but they had to speed that up in order to get to all the different terminals?
When you're pushing it out, it degrades a bit, but not much now. Back then it did. It degraded a lot.
I mean, that was in the 90s.
Now you can get 1 gigabit per second, and then on some networks you can get like 10 gigabits per second or even 100 gigabits per second for business.
Wow, you can get that high of a speed.
Yeah, and that's from our guru.
I mean, not so much in Tahoe, but
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Yeah, I mean,
I'd say your bigger cities like Reno. I said biggest little city. You actually can get that now. They started putting that in there.
No.
Vegas is one. LA is one.
Reno's pretty tech advanced. That's not what I was laughing at. I was just laughing that you said bigger cities and then said Reno.
They're the biggest little city. I just went with that word. Oh, look, disappointed late face. Ha! I had to change it there. For
well,
that one.
I was in Northern California, Southern California, and out in Las Vegas, and I'm thinking that those are pretty big metropolitan areas that
For
would
when
need.
like big cities like that inside the city, they're running probably about 100 gigabits per second that you could buy.
Okay, cool.
It's going to be really expensive.
So what's expensive?
Well, I pay $80 for regular internet through Spectrum.
Okay. And that's the 200 megabyte speed, or is that?
No, I'm pretty sure that's the 1 gigabit speed.
Okay.
What's the business run?
No idea. You'd have to ask Casey.
Give us
That's
30
his
seconds
responsibility.
and he'll pop that in.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know what our fast enough that the TVs work.
Is he on the? Is he on?
Yeah, he's in the chat.
Okay.
Yeah,
He's
we're
watching.
watching him.
I think there's a random in here, but I don't know who it is. They haven't said anything.
Well, there's me, there's you, there's Casey. Is there a fourth?
There's 4.
Ooh. Maybe it's that guy that came in.
And it's
Right?
not me.
Watching it from somewhere else. Yeah, Will's like, I don't. To hell with that. I'm right here.
I'm not going to give him views while I'm sitting in here
You
doing the
can come
podcast.
to me.
Ooh. I never thought of it that way, but you're probably very accurate in that situation.
Some of us have to be. Other than that, like Christmas was good. Other than I worked Christmas and I had a horrible those 3 days that I worked leading up to Christmas and it being Christmas.
Yeah.
It was a shit show.
Were they not very disciplined?
Dude, that's got to be a tough spot
It is
for the
entirely
holidays.
tough.
Like, that's got to be challenging.
Well, yeah, because they want to be with their families.
Yeah.
Understandable. But we want to be with our families too. So we kind of have the same common ground other than like we get to go home later.
Yeah.
But
Right.
even then, like me, I don't hang out with my family at all. Like I wake up I go to work, and then I come home, everybody's asleep.
So,
So I don't get any time with them.
so what about the morning? You don't get morning time for their breakfast and then off to school?
No, they
Oh,
go.
really?
They get up about 6 o'clock. I go to bed about 5
Oh,
because I can't go to bed at midnight because my brain's still running.
Yeah.
At full speed at a wall.
yeah.
So as soon as my brain slows down, is usually when I go to bed, and I'm usually outside in the garage.
I actually had a hard time getting to sleep last night.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I went to the gym and did a full workout a little late.
Yours is because you were.
And I
amped
took
up.
pre-workout, which was stupid because it was after I got off the mountain. Was like, I need a little upper.
So you were on the mountain yesterday.
Yes.
How was that?
It was good.
Was it?
Yeah, I taught a private.
Cool.
That was a lot of fun.
I'll bet.
Actually, they were really surprised. So the manager was not impressed with this particular private. He gave me the look as he handed off, like,
Oh.
and she was a blast. By the end, she was having a good time. She was just a little worried. It's been a long time since she snowboarded, and she wanted to take a lesson. But all the skills were there. She was solid.
Nice.
Like I had to convince her that her skills were solid, but her skills were solid. And then we went on the mountain and snowboarded around a little bit. She was having a blast.
Awesome.
She was smiling and laughing by the end. Didn't start that way.
Did you ever find out what the person that handed off to you, what their difficulties were? Or did you?
No. It wasn't like from another. It wasn't another instructor. It was the manager that handed her off to me.
Right. Was he?
Oh,
or
he
she?
just wasn't impressed with her attitude.
Oh, it was okay.
He was expecting me to have a miserable 3 hours, and she was fantastic.
Because was she working with him?
No.
Oh.
He was just down at the sign up table and brought her up. It was an unexpected private. She bought it late. I was actually about to go home, and he was like, "You want a 3 hour private?" I went, "Yeah, sure, let's do that." That was a lot of fun.
That's good.
They're from New York. She was really friendly, actually. She was just a little tip. She didn't trust herself, and by the end, she did.
She just needed reassurance.
Yeah,
Was
that was it.
Was that yesterday or today?
That was yesterday.
Oh,
I had to go up today. Today was my day off.
Ah,
I went and screwed around and went to Reno for about half a second. Bought these cigars for the cigar review.
nice.
Casey says, so our area is 300 megabits per second, so I don't get 1 gigabit.
Oh,
And the business is 500 megabits per second, at least
Okay.
up here.
The standard,
Yeah.
which I'm pretty sure is what we have.
nothing.
Yeah.
We don't
nothing's-
need much in here. We don't use it for much.
No.
I was gonna say nothing special.
The only
Yeah.
thing we use it for is this.
I mean, yeah, we could probably have a higher run rate for the podcast than 500 megabytes.
I mean, this is working right now. It says that we're doing good.
Okay.
Yeah,
Doesn't
I'm
say that our
watching it. It
band
seems
rate
to be
is
working
down.
just fine.
Okay.
Yeah. I think the last issue we had was banned because, what was it, rain?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which it doesn't matter what your speed is up here. You're gonna have trouble with winds and rain.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just a thing.
That makes sense.
I used to, the people that steal my internet, not really, because I tell them they can, but whatever.
You know, it's interesting is in the industry that mortgage banking is that this territory would be considered a rural territory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And then
expect.
I think probably over time since I left the industry, which was in the early to mid 2000s, that it became, since then, it has become more of a residential area.
Casey says it looks good where he's watching. Yeah, no, that makes sense. No, but they text me. They'd be like, "Hey, your internet's got problems." I'm like, "Yeah, it's windy." They'd be like, "What does that do then?"
What
Like,
is it?
I don't know, but it definitely slows down my internet every time it's windy.
Well, that's the thing. So if you know where the cables are coming, they're ran off of power lines as well. They're that lower tier,
Yeah.
the lowest tier on the lines. It's running that. So as they swing and as wind goes across it, it creates a static charge that causes a disruption in your internet. That's
Yeah.
usually what it is.
I didn't know that. I just knew that the wind made it have problems.
Of course.
And they'd be like, "That doesn't make any sense." I'm like,
Just not
"Yeah,
satellite."
but every time it's windy, I have problems."
But that's why inner city's pretty good because most of their stuff is underground now.
Okay.
Not all of it, but most of it is. So it's a lot easier for them to have those gigabit
Yeah,
speeds.
there's some old neighborhoods up here that are still lines. You know,
Mine's still lines.
is it really
Most of Carson is too.
Yeah.
interesting? I was thinking that
The-
over the most time that we've had underground power, or that the lines have gone underground. I was thinking it would be more.
The newer areas have started to do that. The newer developments.
Yeah.
They're running them to a junction box in the ground and then spreading them out from there.
Okay. Fine with me. I wasn't really paying attention.
I know you weren't. That's why I didn't take that personally.
Yeah, it was just a curious thought that I had, and I don't know where it came from.
Well, I enjoy. Well, it's because we brought up internet and computers and all
Oh
that.
yeah.
And like, the internet is a good thing to have because it gives people a chance to communicate. It gives you instant access to learn things. The problem is people don't want to take that time to go delve in and learn those things. They want the easy answer.
I'm
You
guilty of that.
I want to learn a lot of things. I just don't care about my internet speeds.
Well, yeah, I know.
I
you
mean,
know.
I would if I had something where I was like, "This isn't fast enough, I'm having problems," then I would start researching it. But I don't.
I didn't have to research it because I worked here, so
Yeah,
I
so
know
you
the
know.
interference and what causes the interference.
I did have at the end of law school, I had to do a trial on Zoom because we were in the middle of COVID, which was a.
Excuse me, we're live, so would you please exit?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Cheers and Happy New Year's, guys.
Yeah, do you
New
too,
Year's.
man?
I'm not good enough, I guess.
Do you need a cigar?
He just wanted to smell it, he said.
Oh, okay.
Boo.
It happens. We get those ones. He's a little bit inebriated. What happens in a casino?
Yeah, that's a thing. The other guys were cooler. They bought stuff.
They were.
Well, I told the guy to exit.
And they
Yeah,
went
yeah,
that
no, I
loud.
got that.
I mean, I told him we were live and he
Yeah,
needed to exit.
Well, yeah, because he, as soon as he came in, he was loud. He said he just wanted to smell it.
Yeah.
Oh, did he? Is that what he said? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. So anyway,
So did you get up on the mountain at all, Will?
I have not. So for the year of 2020,
Wait, hold on. Put it on me real fast.
He wouldn't do
All right,
that.
back to Will.
So for the
guy's
year of 2023, my boards never hit the snow, but that is going to change next week.
Next week you're going up?
Yeah, I can't get up there this week.
Okay.
Let's say you're 3 days in and haven't hit the mountain yet.
I know, exactly. No, and I could have gone yesterday, but there was just like no way. What, Casey?
Casey says no free smells.
That's funny. That's awesome. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to the 9th of January. It starts my 10 days
Oh, nice.
of unavailability at work. So
Cool.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk to you about helmets.
Oh, what do you want to know?
So
What size head do you? What size noggin do you have?
7.5.
I've got a helmet for you.
I have an extra. He gave me an extra large. So
Is it? Is it?
it's
Too big?
I've got
It's
a.
too
I've got a
big.
large.
Yeah. So, but no, my question is, I don't like the chin straps because they're like the bike ones, and as a kid, I got.
Oh, I just loosened mine way up.
Well, yeah, but I got strangled a lot as a kid, so even that little dangle when it flicks back and touches my throat, it bothers me.
Well, cut them.
Dude, hold on.
No, you want to
Oh,
wear it.
okay.
You want to wear it.
Do
So
they
in the-
make a
in the-
chin strap?
Yeah, in the army they had a chin strap. for
Never
us.
seen it.
I would like to see if I can get one on there.
I mean, you could go steal. Listen, just go buy a replacement chin strap off of. Well,
That's the thing.
I don't know what the connection point is. Most of them are fixed.
So all these ones are like on the helmet I have. It's the gyro.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
But it has the points here and here, but they're fixed. So
Yeah.
if I was thinking,
That's the way most of them are. All the Smiths are fixed.
if I drilled that out or popped those off and did those self-tightening bolts on each other, would that work?
Yeah,
see-
you're probably not. Listen, not a structural engineer. This is not official
Listen, I
advice.
think about army helmets. They're made out of Kevlar. They're not meant for you to fall off the tank and hit your head when it happens.
They have a different purpose.
Correct. And they hold that.
I
on.
think if you did it low enough, you could probably get away with it.
Because I want to see if I can't on the one. If I'm getting the large one, I'm not going to test it on the large. I'll test it on the extra large.
Yeah.
See if I can't tap those out and then put a chin strap on that. And once I know I can do that, then I can do it to the large.
Yeah, just don't listen. The one that I have is good. Is going to have the internal MIP system. You don't want to fuck with the MIP system.
I think mine has the MIP system.
Yeah, yeah. You
Yeah,
want to be
you
able to do
can.
it without screwing with
I
that.
don't think it will.
As long as you can do that, and it's low, like towards the bottom, like you don't want to mount it high.
Because I have an old one that I used to use on my old ACH because it used to be like the World War II and the Vietnam era was under the chin, but like the newer ones up front like this. So I was able to replace the old straps out with the new ones. So I was wondering
wonder
if I
if-
could do the same.
I wonder if some of the specifically ski race company helmets have chin straps instead.
I've not seen them, but I
Like maybe the POC helmets.
I vaguely remember seeing something of that nature. I think it was in the freestyle
'Cause-
when they're sending all kinds of air and things like that. I
'Cause-
think that there's probably a way to adapt it,
Yeah, 'cause-
like you're talking about.
Yeah, because like even when I was a kid, like I have a hard time wearing regular T-shirts now as an adult.
Well, you could also just take.
Just by anything touching my neck just bothers me, and
You could
I
also
start choking for some reason.
like I don't know about yours. The Smiths, the piece just slides off. You could just buy the chin piece and put it on there. It might feel a little funny with the angles.
Fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was
I know
wondering
what you're getting
if
at,
they
Ray.
made one.
I don't.
It's either that or I tap my own and
You
see what
know-
happens.
I'll find out. I'll look into it for you.
Yeah. I was going to say we need to probably Google it.
Well, I've been Googling and looking around, and I haven't seen anything with the chin strap.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, and I've delved into a couple different ones, and I'm like, does somebody make a custom ski helmet? Maybe I can get a custom one made.
You know.
Yeah,
what?
I would look
have
at
not-
POC.
POC.
If someone has it, they're the ones that are going to have it.
Yeah, 'cause-
There's one other ski company. I don't remember what it's called. They're European. They're all race. They might have it.
okay.
I'll take a look when I go home.
Yeah, it was like that Homer Simpson and Bart Simpson kind of thing.
Yeah,
That's why it kind of bugs me now.
yeah. I don't mind it so much, but mine's super loose.
And like I try to have it loose, but even like that slight dangle when it touches here, it throws me off.
Oh my god, I've been doing
I mean,
all of my lessons. I've been just teaching goofy,
I
just
can't-
teaching switch.
I mean, that's good. You've probably gotten better at it for
Yeah,
sure.
my one footing skills are incredible now.
Nice.
Yeah.
Mine are atrocious still.
I'm thinking about, the helmet situation. I can't tell you how many years I went skiing without a helmet.
I
It's
won't
just-
do that because, like, I've fallen off of a tank. I've hit my head. I've hit my back.
Gotcha.
I crash quite frequently on the board,
Okay.
and like it's one of those things that I just don't want to test it until I get more experience. And even then, probably wouldn't do it because those freak accidents where somebody comes across and isn't paying attention and runs into you happens.
So the funny thing is, I tried to actually do a non-helmet day, and I had a ball cap. I had a baseball cap on, and it just, you can't have the bill in front, which is one of the advantages of having a ball cap on, because the air, rips it right off your head.
They make a beanie with a bill on it now.
Yeah, I've yet to find one of those. I'm sure they're around. I know they're around.
I used to have one a long
Did you?
time ago.
Yeah. And so it's like, okay, I don't need to go helmetless because the helmets that I have usually have a bill, I think is what it's called,
Yeah.
on the helmet. So I no longer ski helmetless.
I just don't do it because it's that safety thing and
Mm-hmm.
other people around me. Am I as good as I could be? No. Are they? Do I trust everybody around me? No. It's like driving.
Yeah, that was actually more of the concern that I have when I was out that day. Is like, oh, you know what? I'd be in real trouble if somebody hit me,
Yeah.
more than me hitting them.
Yeah, and that's what like driving. That's why you wear your seatbelt. It's not because you're a bad driver. It's because you can't trust anybody else around you.
Yeah, no doubt.
You're paying attention to you and them. Like on a motorcycle, the safety thing's kind of not there, so the helmet's kind of required. At least I would consider it being a requirement.
I learned how to jump off a motorcycle while moving very quickly.
Yes, I can do that too. Do I want to do it? No.
No.
But I've also had, like, it was raining one year, and I was coming down the mountain on my bike, and there was a truck in front of me, and with a trailer attached to it, and it jackknifed.
Oh,
And I managed to skirt in between it as it was jackknifing into the wall.
wow.
And I got lucky, and I knew I got lucky.
Yeah.
because the car behind me wasn't going to stop. Because as soon as he slammed on his brakes, he started to skid, and I'm like, uh-oh.
Yeah. It's funny how the brain works. I mean, how quickly it makes decisions for you that in a situation of that nature, you actually come out unscathed. You know, it's
Well, it's one of those situations, like, you just, out of all this experience that you've built up through your life, you just go with it. At that point, you just trust your
skills.
Your skills, yeah. And even then, I wasn't that skilled, but skilled enough to get out of that, apparently.
I got out of a few close scrapes. I had one that I would call major, but nobody got injured. Well, I got a little injured. The doctor described the thumb injury that I had as gamer's thumb.
Oh, yeah.
And interesting enough, that same hand is the one that got scissored by the skis when I was going up the stairs and stumbled.
Oh, yeah. You did
Yeah.
a number on your hand.
Yeah,
That was that your left hand?
yeah,
Aren't you right-handed?
yeah.
Huh. So your non-dominant hand is taking all the damage. Good
Well,
job.
well, so
I mean, that's a good thing.
I need to probably set this conversation up a little because I had two pairs of skis, one on my left shoulder and one on my right shoulder. And it was the one on the left shoulder that didn't agree with where my hand was and bit my hand and let me know.
Oh, it didn't just bite your hand. It tried to take that thing off. It was
Yeah.
like a shark in the water.
Yeah. I'm a little disappointed at the emergency guy and how he.
I got a disappointed laden face just out of that.
Skis are like a shark and tried to take your hand off.
Yeah,
It didn't.
it did. The skis went for
Well,
it.
it tried to take the thumb off,
It-
that's for sure.
You don't need it. You're
just
not a
seemed,
gamer,
just
so.
seemed a bit aggressive for what actually happened.
Hey. With how it turned out and how he explained how much blood there was, it was like a shark.
There was a lot of blood. I wonder if the blood was similar to the dude that sat in that chair the other day.
Oh, this is a conversation I haven't heard.
I didn't tell you this?
No.
Really? Yeah. Oh my God. So I'm sitting at the desk. Three guys, end of my night. It's like 11:15.
What day?
It was
A Friday.
No, it was a Thursday.
It was-
a
oh.
Thursday before Christmas.
Okay.
So there's three guys. Two of them are sitting over here. One's sitting over by me at the desk. I'm looking at the dude at the desk. There's two guys. The two guys are doing whatever they're doing over here. Right? This is a quote. I'm not really paying attention. This guy and I are bullshitting about whatever. And out of this side of my face, I hear, "Oh, fuck." And I go, "Both of us." So I look over, and dude has his fucking finger through a cigar cutter bleeding down his shirt. And I go, "What the fuck did you just do?"
Right.
I appear to have guillotined my finger.
I grab a bunch of paper towels. I'm like, "Here, I'll call security. The EMT will come down and, do the EMT thing." And so we get through all that. Goes through the security thing. They clean it out. It's fucking deep. And it was fucking deep. He didn't go through bone, but he definitely tried to take off his finger.
Probably could have used some stitches for sure.
And then he holds up his... So we've got those little fucking plastic cigar cutters in the boxes, right? The little
Yeah.
cheapies.
Right.
And he holds up the cigar cutter, and he goes, "What should I do with this?" I go, "You can go ahead and keep that. That's never going to cut another cigar in my shop. That's all yours."
Put it in your pocket and walk.
Yeah. I think you earned it.
Walk away. It's a very,
I would soak it in some rubbing alcohol at least.
I'm sure that was not crossing his mind.
Blew my mind. Like, did I just walk into 4 rooms? What just happened here?
That's amazing. So how did he do it? Did he explain?
No, we didn't ask,
I'm
or
pretty
you
sure
didn't ask.
he just went after it. Was like, "How sharp is this?" Yeah. I am amazingly glad I didn't have him using my cutter,
Was it just
because it might have actually taken his finger
You
off.
would have been so mad.
Oh my God, dude. I'm like, he's holding his finger in one hand and the cutter in the other, like, help. I'm like, Shit.
You just take a picture, send it to him, say, "Hey, your cutter's this sharp." Just say no.
I take it this guy was fairly inebriated. What did
More
his,
inebriated than I thought, in fact.
what did his buddy do?
Well, he thought he was. He thought.
Oh,
he was
they
an
gave
old
him a
officer.
rash of shit.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Both of them. I didn't have to give him any shit. They started immediately.
Oh, how funny.
I'm like, yep, that's exactly what you deserve. Yeah. Because, I mean, I can see it, right? Like, I've seen people, like, spin. They open up the blades. They don't think about it, and they put it on their finger, and they'll, like, spin it. And they'll get, it's like a paper cut,
Like a
right? Because
nick.
it's just sticking out enough to give you a little nick. That's not what this was.
This was deep. This
That's
was
funny.
I was blown away. Like, we've had this cigar shop for almost 3.5 years now.
Right?
Yeah, we frequented it.
I've been hanging out in cigar shops since I was 17. Never have I seen that
Me,
in my life.
so I've seen some people,
I'm gonna give you $10 if you do it.
Yeah.
they kind of test it a little bit.
Yeah.
But that's about it.
No, there was some force behind it.
Yeah.
For sure. Not enough, clearly, but I mean,
I wonder if that's what he was doing. He was spinning it and accidentally squeezed his hand together.
So was it just the under part, or was it like
I
all
think-
the way
I think it was
around?
the-
no,
full
it
finger.
was around his finger.
All the way around.
Yes.
No, the cut
Yeah.
itself.
All the way around his finger.
Really?
And
Yes.
deep.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
Oh, that would just suck. That would just hurt. Oh, that and be embarrassing.
Listen, you would know. You've nicked your finger on that other plunger one.
Yeah, I did.
Oh yeah. The tip of your pinky finger.
Yeah.
See, and
I can't tell after that. I can't tell how many times, like, hey, watch your pinky, and they're like, oh, I'm like, yeah, it's like drinking tea, buddy.
Pinky's up.
Like, pinky's
Yeah.
up. Yeah.
Don't do that. Don't drink it like you drink tea. That's for sure.
Casey, finger chop.
Oh, dude, it was so silly. I was so blown up. And like, I've been doing a bunch of days in here anyway. Plus, I'd been on a bunch of doubles, so I'm a little
Tired.
like loose. But that, there are certain things that just sober you up immediately, right? And I wasn't drinking, but like
It woke you up.
they pull you right back to reality.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And the strain in his voice when he said that was like, oh, God damn it. Yeah.
Are you doing a double tomorrow or Friday?
No, Friday, Saturday, and I think I'm off Sunday. Pretty sure.
Because you asked for that. You designed that.
Yeah, and I have Sundays off until the weekend after this.
Okay.
And even then, I don't know what's going to happen with that schedule because they're warning us that they're going to start calling people off. But I don't think they have enough snowboard instructors. They have way too many ski instructors.
Yeah.
Way too many.
They'll probably take out the ski instructors first for sure.
Yeah, they're sending half the ski. Like, they haven't sent. They might send one snowboard instructor home for not getting a class. They're sending like half the ski instructors home. And when I say this, in roll call in the morning, there's 10 or 12 snowboard instructors and 60 or 70 ski instructors.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Is there that many people learning how to ski?
Not this year. Most years.
Most years. I mean, we are struggling to have snow.
Right now, yeah.
I mean, and I don't mean that just at our mountain. I mean, it's all mountains.
Oh yeah, everywhere. Have you seen the national map of like snow? There's one random little pocket. I don't know where it's at. It's northern Utah or southern
Wyoming.
Idaho or Wyoming, where they're at like 93% of average. Everyone else is 50 or below.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we don't get most of our snow until like
It depends here.
February usually, right?
It depends. This is what I've been telling people. Most of the El Nino years I remember, which is what this is, the season was late. It starts end of January, and it ends June or July.
No,
I mean, it just keeps snowing.
we had that really good year, and they're like, that's enough. You're good.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, see, last year, as big as it was, it stopped pretty early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just big all the way up until then.
And the snow
Couple
lasted.
years before that, was it
16,
16, 17?
That was
16,
big.
17.
That
But
was
it was
big.
but it was late.
Yes, it was late.
Yeah, that was an El Nino year.
And that's what we thought was going to happen last year. I think that's what's going to happen this year.
I think so too. Well, it was an El Nino year just like this year.
Yeah.
Go back further than that. It was 11, 12.
Yes.
Yeah.
Big El Nino year. That year, shit you not, it started snowing the day before the Super Bowl, the Saturday before the Super Bowl. So the first Saturday in February,
Wow.
it started snowing, and it stopped in July.
And
In
that-
fact, it snowed on the 4th of July.
Was that 11, 12?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think that was
remem-
11, 12.
Yeah, I remember that. And it's like, oh, yeah.
That was the year the water from the lake was crashing over the cart path at Edgewood at Celebrity Golf.
Yeah, I wasn't here for that. I wish I was.
That was a big year.
11, 12?
Yeah,
That was a big
I was
year.
in the army at that point.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a big year.
Other big El Nino years, 96, 97 was a big El Nino year. And though we had storms early, they were all rain. And then it started snowing in December, right before Christmas, snowed until New Year's, turned to rain New Year's Eve, flooded literally everything. Reno was underwater. The airport was underwater. You can look up pictures. Literally underwater. And then it started snowing. It rained for about 4 days. And then it started snowing about the 10th or 11th of January. And we ended up with like 32 feet on the ground at Kirkwood at one time.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I mean, that's nature. You know, that's just,
Well, it's the Sierra Nevadas. It's so unpredictable. It's always unpredictable up here.
right. I mean, they were saying that it was going to be traces to maybe 1 or 2 inches that came through yesterday or the day before yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how much more did we get? We got more than that.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm not a great distance of more than that. I mean, we probably
But we got double to triple what they predicted.
Yeah, we got about 5 or 6 inches.
Have you connected with Schmody yet?
No, speaking of,
I thought he was going to be here tonight, but I think he was also a little intoxicated when he told me that.
Oh, okay.
That was New Year's Eve when he's
Yeah,
like,
I
"I'm
haven't-
coming Sunday," I'm coming Wednesday. I was like, "Okay."
I have not touched base or got connected with him since before New Year's.
Well, he's here. He's in town somewhere.
Yeah, till the 6th.
Okay.
Yeah.
At least.
I mean, unless they cut their trip short, which that could or may happen.
Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean,
Everyone else is gone. Carney's gone. James and Wanda are gone.
Mm-hmm.
Although James wants to come up and do this with us.
Oh, did they come up? Mm-hmm. Oh.
They were here all weekend. They had a blast.
Ah.
They were really cool.
yeah, they were
Carney was
actually-
really cool too.
Yeah.
The
they-
good news is if those days stay what they are, they'll be up here during those times.
Yeah, and Carney was as much host as I was.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
He was sending it in here, which
Yeah.
was great.
Yeah.
It was nice having that off my plate for some of it. Like there were times that I could just sit down and smoke a cigar.
Yeah, Carney's really good at talking.
Yeah, he's super friendly.
Yeah, not in a bad way, and like he's really good at keeping attention,
No.
talking to people.
He's very engaging.
Yes,
Very engaging.
that's the word.
I like Tom a lot.
Yeah, it was a good podcast.
I like when he comes up because he knows I don't drink, and he always goes, "Oh," he offers me something, and I tell him no, and he goes, "Oh yeah, that's right, you don't drink." You know, the chocolates that he gave us.
Yeah.
Oh, they're so good.
Oh yeah, those
So
Lindor
good.
They are.
chocolates.
Yes.
They
Yeah.
usually are. That gingerbread one was interesting.
Yes, the gingerbread.
It's a gingerbread milk chocolate.
Is that the Ghirardelli ones?
Yeah.
The squares?
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't touched those yet.
They're tasty.
But
They are.
I put it, he said, I had them on the counter, like the first night that I got them, and he came in and he goes, have you had a chance to taste them? In fact, I think it was the next night. And I go, no, I've just got them on the counter in a plastic bag. And he goes, you need to put them in the refrigerator. I go, oh, what a great thought. I should have known that. And I did at one time. But it's been a while. And so I put them in there. And I cut one of the Lindors in half. And it was awesome. It was so just melt in your mouth.
Yeah, that's really good chocolate.
Yeah, I gave my wife the peppermint ones. I'm not a big peppermint person.
Are those good? I mean, he had quite of an assortment of
All
Ghirardellis.
all the square ones are Ghirardelli, so that
Yeah.
one was a Ghirardelli.
Okay.
So there's peppermint, gingerbread,
Caramel.
caramel, and just regular milk chocolate.
Yeah.
All pretty tasty though.
Oh, we're really tasty, yeah.
Anyway, what else is going on? I got nothing. Nothing for politics, Will?
What do you mean?
Yeah,
Anything
no
that you want
questions?
to bring up or run by me? I haven't seen anything for 2A stuff, so I think I'm clear. I'm in the clear there.
Yeah, pretty much the 2A stuff is pretty well rerun
We get 2 cases being argued at the Supreme Court at the end of the month.
at the end of the month.
Oh, and I think it's this month. I don't know. I should look it up. I see if they scheduled it.
Are they? But
I want to see the
are they in
Chevron
session?
deference case
Are they in
next week.
session?
Next week.
Okay.
What case is it?
The Chevron.
There's a case. It's a random fishing case out of Massachusetts, I think.
Like,
Yeah. It has nothing to do with the Second Amendment inherently. Parts of it, like the repercussions, they'll affect a lot of other stuff too. So what they're talking about? Oh, Frank, this Old Forester pick. My dad found it in Texas, in Amarillo. It's so good. The liquor store is called Pinky's. We're calling the picker. I don't know his name, but he's Brain. It's the best Old Forester pick I've ever had, and we have 5 in the shop. It's fantastic. Now the one Kevin's got, if I don't know where you're at, if you're in the area, at Minden Meat and Deli, is right there. They're so good.
they're neck and neck.
So, fishing case, they're forcing fishing boats to pay for some sort of an inspector on the boat all the time. Anyway, it's challenged. It doesn't matter. But so none of that really matters. The statute that empowers the agency that manages fish and wildlife to do that is ambiguous. How that ambiguous provision is interpreted is subject to something called Chevron deference. And they think they're going to overturn Chevron. Basically, what Chevron deference says is if it's ambiguous, then you defer to the authority of the agency so long as the results aren't something. I forget the word
So-
they use.
Fishing game, wildlife.
Yes. But the empowering statute, if there's ambiguous provisions, you defer to the agency is basically what Chevron deference is.
Okay.
And they're going to overturn that. But that applies to the Second Amendment in that if the ATF can no longer interpret to their own will ambiguous provisions, it severely limits their authority outside of another empowering statute from Congress.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
executive agencies are empowered by Congress specifically.
And that's just in that state right now.
No, that would be a national case.
Oh.
It's in the Supreme Court.
Okay.
So whatever they decide will apply to Chevron generally for all executive agencies of the federal government.
So regardless of whether it's the FBI, ATF,
Won't
CIA,
matter.
it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Fishing
Oh, the
game.
FBI not so much interpreting statutes. That's more like a Department of Justice thing, and the FBI just follows the Department of Justice's will.
And
They
so
just
will
enforce
the
it.
so the Department of Justice will be affected by Chevron deference.
Yes,
Okay.
everyone will be. Literally everyone. EPA, DOJ, take your pick. Everybody.
Okay.
Any of the 3 letters.
TRPA.
Yes, but TRPA's empowering statute is not ambiguous.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because it deals with strictly the Tahoe Basin.
Because it outlines everything they can do very specifically. Some of it will be a little okay. So like you can't paint your house this color, probably going away.
Yeah.
You have to plant these kinds of bushes to prevent water from flowing through your yard into the street and into the lake. Not ambiguous.
What about certain plants for fire protection?
Well, you can draw a straight line from fire protection to land and silt when you lose root structures and fires to lake clarity. If you can draw a straight line from the thing to dirt getting into the lake,
Yeah.
the TRPA can regulate it.
Interesting. So you said you made a reference of painting the house a certain color. Would that be
TRPA is not going to be able to do that.
no? But who does that affect to effectively be able to do that? I mean, like homeowners associations, they impose that sometimes, depending upon the homeowners association. Will it affect them as well, or is
Not
that
if it's in
their
the
their neighborhood?
homeowner association's charter.
Okay.
And it became so if it goes in the charter, it becomes part of the titles for each home. It's basically like an easement. It transfers down.
No, Frank's out of Georgia.
Yeah. Well, Flint. I thought Flint was. Yeah.
Michigan.
Dude, that's gnarly. I think the homeowner's probably liable for attempted murder.
You're probably right.
That's funny.
I don't think you're allowed to protect land with deadly force, generally,
Deadly
anywhere.
force. I like this guy.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, unless they're using deadly force to come this way.
God, he's where?
He's in Georgia.
Jesus.
They probably give him some leeway.
George. I mean, Frank. It's 3 a.m, dude.
I'm surprised the courts.
You're awesome.
I'm surprised the courts are going along with him, because waterways generally your property line only extends to like 6 feet beyond the natural bank. That's what it is in Tahoe. And anything beyond that, you'd be. But even still, like here, I didn't think anywhere it's possible. It's okay in Georgia, but most places you can't defend property with deadly force. You still have to have some belief of that you are
Of
going to
threat.
suffer severe bodily injury or death to use deadly force. Other than that, you have to use other means. Certainly in California and in Nevada, for that matter.
Interesting.
This is why the castle doctrine doesn't make any sense, right? Because like all the castle doctrine does is eliminate the need to retreat in your own home, but you still have to be in fear. It doesn't mean you can shoot somebody. Like you don't have to retreat and you can shoot somebody. You still have to be in fear, like an actual subjective fear. Like you have to feel it. It's not like the reasonable person would feel it. If you feel it, that's enough. It's subjective. But you have to be afraid of severe bodily injury and or death.
So surprisingly,
Right.
Castle Doctrine, it works on your truck or your vehicle in Texas. At least that's to my knowledge. Is
Interesting.
What's been told to me.
Yeah, but again, you still have to be in fear of severe bodily injury or death.
So they have to be.
Yeah,
coming
this
at
is,
you with-
and most places interpret that pretty liberally. Liberally, not in the political sense, liberally in the like broad sense, right? They're gonna, you just have to be adjacent to a fear of severe bodily injury or death. In California, they're taking that really seriously. That's why they have like some guy falls through the roof who's trying to rob your house, and then the homeowner beats the crap out of him and then gets sued. Because after you fall through the roof, you're probably pretty incapacitated to begin with.
Wasn't there a case where somebody fell through the roof and landed on a knife? And he sued in California?
I
That's interesting.
think that might be a thing. I didn't read the case.
I feel like it was a thing.
I
It was
think
like
it-
an old lady's house, too.
I don't know. I mean, you'd have to show some pretty severe negligence on knife storage. You'd also have to have some knowledge that the roof wasn't stable.
True.
Like to meet the elements, you'd have to know some stuff, and that would be really hard.
Fair.
Anyway,
Casey,
Interesting.
I have not kept on Reacher. Not yet. I plan on going through it here in a little
oh,
bit.
I watched it. I'm a little bored with it, honestly. They
Yeah?
didn't quite. There's a lot of, what if someone has a trebuchet? In case. I mean,
You
there's
would
a
be the
lot
only
of.
one.
There's a lot of. Where is Delaware? Is that where Dogfish Head Brewery is? I think it's in Delaware. That's also where they have the pumpkin chunkin contest,
Yeah.
and they do build trebuchets for that.
Yes.
What is a trebuchet?
It's a really fancy slingshot or catapult. It's a combination of a slingshot and a catapult. So it's a catapult, but it starts on a pivot mechanism, and it's got a big, long sling. So it rotates up, winds up, and then drags the sling out and flings it all the way around, and then flings the item. So it builds up like 5 times the force of a regular catapult.
It's fun to watch those, by the way, if you actually get a chance
Only
to.
Casey would know. I mean,
Yeah, Casey wants a trebuchet.
Of course he does. Of course he
He
does.
wants to launch some pumpkins.
Well, Dogfish Head, so they got famous because they won a pumpkin pie contest with a pumpkin beer. That's how they came to notoriety.
Holy crap.
it's like pumpernickel. What do you-
So, wait, how did they get away with that?
They entered it, they accepted it. Whoever was running the contest accepted it, and they won.
He's like, it's technically a pumpkin pie. It's
Yeah.
yeast, pumpkin,
Oh, that's so goofy.
Oh, I need.
That's-
You know, what? You guys
no.
are making me want a pumpkin pie.
So, Casey, it would depend on the circumstance of the trebuchet. If it was automatic, so you can't use spring traps to protect your house. You can't like spring a door with a shotgun. Turns out that's still murder.
Yeah, because you could set that spring trap to go forward into your house to have something to shoot at.
What about
Well, people have, and they were found guilty of murder.
Yes,
All right.
because
Yeah.
it was premeditated.
Yes.
Yeah, premeditated murder.
I figured.
Yeah.
I figured that'd be the reason.
That's awesome.
You were waiting and expecting somebody to break in, so you set it up there on purpose to give them bodily harm.
So you know what's interesting is this is making me think of the insurance that you can acquire for defensive.
Yeah, but they won't cover that.
No.
Right. Well,
Yeah, so-
here's what's interesting is that if you get into a situation where you do fire your gun, they have even though you've bought the insurance company can deny covering you for that. So you're going to be involved. So you would be involved in the lawsuit that comes up against you.
Well, they're looking at the same things that everybody else is. What was it?
Was it legal?
Was it needed?
Yeah. I mean, does it fit the definitions of being a right to self-defense versus manslaughter or murder?
Yeah.
I mean, do you guys track on that? Or am I
Well, no,
just-
they're gonna have an attorney.
Am I just speaking?
They're going to have an attorney that's going to look at it. And the attorney goes, that's probably murder. The insurance company's going to be like, yeah, we're not covering that.
Right.
I mean, that's more or less how it goes, I
I
expect.
mean, the insurance got him out of jail. They put,
They posted the bond. The one that I saw, they posted the bond, but then failed to cover the attorney.
Yes, I remember that. And it was some attorney. So the two attorneys that reviewed that, and I don't know which podcast it was from, said you're better off just having an attorney on retainer.
Yeah, I mean, for the money, that's what I would do.
Yeah.
I like Casey's come back to that.
I need to protect
trebuchet.
my castle.
Yeah, has a trebuchet to protect his castle.
So you're going to launch it into your own home,
Yeah.
essentially?
Well, trebuchets are
theoretically.
interesting because they're not quite accurate. You're launching them for distance, and you're guesstimating the trajectory first. And depending on the weight of the object and everything, you could judge distance, but you have to shoot it a couple times to know that. But then you come over like wear over time. So at a specific time, the wear on the mechanism could cause it to shoot lower or further.
Listen,
I mean-
it's sort of like a machine gun. It's for general targeting,
Exactly.
not so much specific
But
targeting.
If you're hucking a pumpkin, there's not much splash.
Yeah, just for distance.
Just for distance.
So you have it in your backyard, so it'll fling it into the front yard, right? And you have one in
No,
the
I
front
mean, I-
yard, so you can fling it into the
I
backyard.
think the pumpkin chugging contest is like 300-400 yards.
Yeah, it flings it.
No, but
It-
I'm talking about in the castle doctrine. That's how you would protect the house.
I don't know. Listen, all of that is impractical. I mean, you could have a mini trebuchet pointed at the front door or something.
Yeah, or the porch.
At which point the court's going to be like, I'm sorry, what happened?
This is premeditated.
You got hit with a trebuchet and survived? What is a trebuchet?
Yeah, they would probably be asking that question.
They'll be researching it like, how the hell did he set that up in his house
I-
and not damage the walls?
You could spring load a series of trebuchets, all with paintballs.
There you go.
I mean, that would be a sight too. You walk in and you just hear these springs and then whips. It's like click.
Listen,
You're like, oh God, what happened?
knowing
would be
Casey,
hilarious.
it's not just going to be paintballs. They're going to be the pepper balls.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
fair.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, well, maybe you get permission to from your neighbor across the street to put it in his
Listen,
on his property.
but you have to ask them anyway. Like, this is what I'm building. It's shooting at my front door. If it's open and I miss, probably hitting your house.
No.
Well, yeah, that's what you would need if you're aiming for your friends. You're gonna have to put it back a ways, and it depends on the object you're launching too, right? Because weight has a ton of things to deal with this.
But I'm thinking if I'm protecting my castle, right? You're gonna go to next neighborhood, so to speak. Never mind.
Going to the trailer
Never
park. Hey
mind,
guys,
I'm
I know
just-
you're okay with having this here. Which is his next neighborhood? The trailer park down the way.
Oh, Casey's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've driven by there a couple times?
Yeah, I just went there for the first time a few weeks back, about a month ago.
Oh, when you dropped that off, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this is where he lives. That makes a lot of sense.
Now you can put context to his descriptions.
Oh, yeah. When he's like, this is, half my neighborhood's this way and the other half's this way. I'm like, oh, okay. I saw it.
Yeah.
That's a cool little spot, though.
Cool.
Decent part of Carson City.
Good. Good. Glad he's in a good neighborhood.
He's not too far away from a bunch of different things either. So stores, game shops, all that. It's pretty close to him.
Nice. Game shops. That's the most important.
Well, yeah. There's Retro Replay is down there, and they're all old school, kind of like Nintendo, Xbox, Genesis. They have a couple Ataris there, like old school games.
Right.
And they have new games as well and new systems. I was thinking about picking up an Xbox, a GameCube.
Speaking of being in Carson City and where he's at, I didn't have to. I made a phone call to Ultimate Sounds, I think is the name of the place. And I asked them, can you put a remote start in my Mini? And they said, what year is your Mini? And I said, it's 2020. And they said, we can only do it up to 2016. I go, oh. He goes, I might be able to get 2020 application of remote start. But the company that he has to go through out of Canada is really finicky to deal with. And so the solution or the next step is going to Mini and saying, hey, can you put this in? So I
Yeah.
have that, and that's just,
Oh, you got to go through Mini Reno?
yeah,
My sisters had no luck with them.
yeah. I'm thinking maybe I'd call Sacramento.
I thought your sister was driving a Subi.
Nope, she goes. Well, she's thinking about selling her Mini and getting
Getting a
something
Subi?
else. There's a couple like the Subis with the lifts on them, the Wildland or the I don't know whatever they call that.
Outback?
No. It's a special edition. They do the Outback and the Crosstrek
Oh, okay.
lifted camping rails, so you can actually put a roof-mounted tent on them.
Oh, nice.
Bunch of like super fancy shit.
Does she go camping?
Sometimes I guess.
Does she really?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Not lately. Although she's doing a lot more stuff now because she's got a new job. The old job was so prohibitive for time, but the new job's a lot better.
Good.
That's good. She enjoying her new job?
Yes, I think so. She
Yeah,
says she is.
Yeah.
Let me rephrase
So
this. That she-
Go ahead.
Were you in here when? That wasn't New Year's Eve. I had the guy in here. We were pouring a bunch of stuff. He was drinking a bunch of ryes. Mark or Robert?
Chris?
Not Chris.
Not the guy who was sitting in this seat?
The guy from Hawaii. No, he was sitting over here.
Oh, no, I
anyway,
was not here for that.
So I poured him some of that Blender Select rye, that white medallion smoke wagon.
Yeah.
And he went back to Reno. He loved it. He goes back to Reno. He goes, where is this? And I go, there's some here and there's some of this other, of that batch. There's newer batches elsewhere. I was like,
Yeah.
that batch, there's some here and there's some there. And I went into one of those stores today when I was down there. He bought them all.
He
And now I'm like, because I wanted another one, because I don't have another one of those, and I poured it out, like it's gone. It's like, I wonder if he made it to the other store and bought all of those too.
Did you go check?
No, I didn't have time. But he also, for sure, like he paid a bunch of money for some BTAC stuff up here, like $850 a pop.
Can they just not get it in Hawaii?
No, they're pretty limited.
Okay. So they can't get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, how long have we been going?
Hour 18.
What do you say we call it and break this thing down?
I think it's a good idea.
All right. We had some people come up and left. Frank, if you're still here, appreciate you watching and commenting. I love the questions. I think these guys do too. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, we enjoy it. We
Yeah.
enjoy the engagement. It gives us more things to talk about when we start slowing down. So thank you.
So, if you're still around, give us a like, throw some comments on there. Maybe subscribe if you haven't. Appreciate it. And that was episode 46 of the Daily Torch.
Yep. He's Lane. I'm Kevin. And that's Will. We'll see you guys on the next one.